Beneath the windswept soil of Oak Island, Nova Scotia, something has finally been uncovered that has left historians, explorers, and believers across the globe in awe. For centuries, whispers of hidden riches, lost relics, and forbidden knowledge have wrapped this small island in mystery. Many tried to unearth its secrets, pouring fortunes and even lives into the search, but the riddle always endured. Now, more than 2 centuries after the first dig began, a vault has been breached. And inside, what was revealed seems less like fact and more like legend. A vast treasure hoard, valued at over $150 million, linked unmistakably to the mysterious and powerful Knights Templar. This wasn't just a heap of gold. As heavy chests were lifted from the muddy chamber, their surfaces revealed strange carvings, crosses, geometric symbols, and cryptic marks that hinted at a code only the initiated could understand. At once, it became clear, this find was about more than fortune. It carried within it a story that stretched back centuries, tied to one of history's most secret of brotherhoods. For a moment, the dig site fell silent. The whir of machinery and the squelch of mud seemed to fade as those present realized what they were looking at. It felt cinematic, but this was no movie. This was reality. History cracking open before their eyes. But instead of ending the Oak Island mystery, the discovery only raised more questions. Was this the long-rumored Templar treasure, or just one fragment of something much greater? Could more relics lie hidden deeper still, perhaps relics powerful enough to rewrite history itself? Since the late 1700s, Oak Island has been known not only for its treasure legends, but also for the curse said to guard them. According to old tales, 7 lives must be lost before the treasure is truly revealed. To date, 6 men have perished in accidents tied to the search, collapses, floods, and sudden tragedies. Over the decades, explorers reported strange encounters, mysterious stone carvings with indecipherable inscriptions, wooden platforms buried at intervals suggesting intentional construction, and sudden flooding caused by hidden channels. Each attempt to solve the puzzle seemed to be met with resistance, as if the island itself was fighting back. That is why Oak Island became known as the world's most dangerous and enduring treasure hunt. Generations of treasure hunters, from farmers to wealthy investors, sacrificed fortunes, reputations, and even their lives to solve its riddle. And now, with modern technology like sonar mapping and ground-penetrating radar, the search has finally revealed what appears to be the long-sought vault. But the strange Templar markings suggest the hoard is not just money, it's part of something much larger. The Templar connection. The Knights Templar were more than soldiers of the Crusades. They became bankers, builders, and one of the most powerful organizations of the Middle Ages. When they were betrayed and disbanded in the early 1300s, much of their wealth and many of their secrets simply vanished. Legends say a fleet of Templar ships escaped France on the very night of their downfall. Some believe they fled to Scotland, others to Portugal, and some insist they sailed across the Atlantic with their most sacred possessions. Over the years, clues on Oak Island hinted at their presence. Nolden's Cross, a formation of stone resembling Templar designs, artifacts like a medieval lead cross, and carvings that resembled symbols linked to sacred geometry. Now, with treasure chests clearly bearing Templar crosses, the link feels undeniable. Could Oak Island have been their secret fortress in the New World, where their greatest treasures and perhaps even religious relics were hidden? Beyond gold, sacred relics, and hidden knowledge. The discovery has reignited theories that the Templars carried far more than gold. Some believe the Holy Grail, the Ark of the Covenant, or secret manuscripts about the life of Jesus may have been among their most protected treasures. The sheer effort to defend Oak Island's vaults, with elaborate tunnels, flooding traps, and coded messages, suggests the treasure was more than wealth. It may have been sacred, powerful, and dangerous. If true, this would force us to rewrite history itself, proving Europeans crossed the Atlantic long before Columbus, and revealing that the Templars' greatest secrets were hidden far from the reach of kings and popes. The mystery continues. Even now, experts believe what has been uncovered may only be one vault among many. Oak Island may hold deeper chambers, more relics, and even greater revelations. But the curse still lingers. With 6 lives already claimed, some wonder if one final sacrifice is required before Oak Island truly surrenders its last secret. For over 200 years, the island has guarded its mysteries with silence, danger, and death. And though the treasure has begun to emerge, the greatest revelation may still lie hidden beneath its soil, waiting for those daring enough to chase the legend further. The markings on the uncovered treasure chests weren't random scratches. They seemed intentional, almost like a language carved into wood. Among the symbols were unmistakable Templar crosses, alongside spirals, triangles, and geometric alignments. Experts quickly realized that these weren't decorations, but coded messages. The Knights Templar were known for using sacred geometry, mathematical patterns believed to hold spiritual power. They incorporated these designs into cathedrals across Europe, blending faith and mathematics into a hidden language only insiders could understand. At once, it became clear this find was about more than fortune. It carried within it a story that stretched back centuries, tied to one of history's most secret of brotherhoods. For a moment, the dig site fell silent. The whir of machinery and the squelch of mud seemed to fade as those present realized what they were looking at. It felt cinematic, but this was no movie. This was reality. History cracking open before their eyes.
For those who knew the code of the Templars, perhaps for future generations who would one day find it. Historians immediately recognized the importance. The Knights Templar were not just warriors. They were one of the most powerful and wealthy organizations of the Middle Ages. Formed in the 12th century, they became famous during the Crusades, defending pilgrims, fighting battles, and amassing enormous wealth. Over time, the Templars grew so rich and influential that even kings feared them. But in the early 14th century, they were betrayed, arrested, and disbanded. Many Templars were executed, but legends say they managed to hide their most important treasures before their downfall. Some say they hid gold, silver, and relics. Others claim they guarded the greatest mysteries of Christianity itself, from the Holy Grail to the Ark of the Covenant. The discovery on Oak Island now suggests that at least part of those legends may be true. For decades, researchers had speculated about a link between Oak Island and the Templars. Strange stone crosses had been found arranged in patterns across the island, known as Nolan's Cross, which resembled Templar designs. Carvings and symbols discovered during past digs hinted at Templar involvement. And now, with the discovery of treasure chests marked by Templar crosses, the connection seems stronger than ever. The idea is breathtaking. After their sudden arrest in Europe, did the Templars flee across the Atlantic centuries before Columbus, carrying with them their most precious secrets? Did they build elaborate tunnels and traps beneath Oak Island to protect their treasure? And if so, what else might still lie hidden underground? Because many experts believe that what has been discovered so far is only the beginning. The discovery of the Templar treasure on Oak Island has now opened a flood of new questions, perhaps even more complicated than the ones asked before. If this treasure truly belonged to the Templars, then how did it get here? The mainstream history books tell us that the Templars were arrested in Europe in the year 1307, under the orders of King Philip IV of France and with the approval of Pope Clement V. Many were tortured, forced to confess to crimes they may or may not have committed, and the order was officially dissolved. But the truth is, the fate of much of their wealth and many of their members remains unknown. Some vanished, some fled, and some took with them secrets that have never been explained. This disappearance is one of the reasons why the legend of the Templars grew so powerful. It was said that on the very night before their arrest, a fleet of Templar ships mysteriously left the port of La Rochelle, carrying with them the Order's most important possessions. No one ever saw that fleet again. Some said they escaped to Scotland, protected by clans loyal to them. Others believed they sailed even further, perhaps to Portugal, and from there to lands beyond the Atlantic. For centuries, this theory was dismissed as fantasy, but the discovery on Oak Island may force us to rethink everything. If the Templars did sail west, if they did reach the shores of North America, then Oak Island could very well have been one of their strongholds, a place where they hid what was most sacred to them. But what exactly did they hide here? Was it simply gold, silver, and jewels, a vast fortune that could support them in exile? Or was it something far more valuable, something that had to be protected at all costs, something that could even threaten the powers of kings and popes? Some historians believe the Templars may have carried religious relics of unimaginable value. The Holy Grail, often described as the cup used by Jesus at the Last Supper, has long been associated with the Templars. Others suggest they protected the Ark of the Covenant, the sacred chest said to hold the Ten Commandments, lost to history centuries earlier. These claims have always lived in the realm of myth, but when the evidence on Oak Island is considered, the idea no longer seems so far-fetched. And yet the island itself adds another layer of mystery. The treasure was not simply buried in the ground like a pirate's chest. It was hidden with incredible care, with engineering that even today leaves experts in awe. The tunnels and shafts that run beneath Oak Island are among the most complex ever found. Water channels were cut from the sea, designed to flood the main shaft whenever someone tried to dig too deep. Wooden platforms were layered one after another, forcing explorers to work tirelessly, only to be defeated by sudden floods or collapses. This was no amateur job. Whoever built these defenses had knowledge, resources, and determination. It suggests that they were not simply hiding wealth, they were guarding something with almost religious devotion. What is even stranger are the symbols scattered across the island. Carved stones, strange crosses, geometric patterns, they all point to a hidden code. In one famous case, a stone found deep within the money pit carried an inscription that no one could fully translate. Some believe it warned that a great treasure lay below, but others think it was a coded message designed to mislead outsiders. When placed alongside the recent discovery of Templar markings on the treasure chests, the connection seems stronger than ever. And then there is the curse. For more than 2 centuries, people have whispered about it, the idea that 7 lives must be lost before the treasure will be revealed. So far, 6 men have died in the search, their lives taken in tragic accidents. Each death added to the weight of the legend, making Oak Island feel more like a forbidden place, a ground that demanded sacrifice before it gave up its secrets. Now, with the discovery of the Templar treasure, some are asking whether the curse has been fulfilled or whether one more life must still be taken. Is the curse real, or is it a story passed down to keep people away from the island? Either way, it has become part of the island's identity, one of the reasons why the Oak Island mystery has fascinated so many for so long. What makes this discovery even more powerful is not just what was found, but what it implies. If the Templars were truly here, then history must be rewritten. It means Europeans reached North America long before Columbus. It means that one of the most secretive and wealthy orders in history may have carried their secrets to the New World, hiding them in a place so remote and so well guarded that they would remain untouched for centuries. And it also means that the treasure is not just about wealth. It is about knowledge, about faith, and about secrets that could challenge everything we think we know about history, religion, and power. Even now, many believe that what has been discovered so far is only the beginning. The chamber discovered so far may be one vault among many. The island could still hold deeper tunnels, more hidden rooms, and greater treasures yet to be found. And if the Templars truly left their greatest relics here, then the search is far from over. Each new dig, each new scan of the island, could bring discoveries that would shake the world. But with
discovery comes new danger. The curse still looms over Oak Island, reminding everyone that the search has always carried a price. Each step deeper into the earth is not just a step into history. It is a step into danger, into traps set centuries ago, into the unknown. And as the world watches, the mystery of Oak Island continues to grow, as fascinating and haunting today as it was more than 200 years ago, when those first boys began to dig in the earth, chasing a shadow that has never truly disappeared. The deeper we go into the mystery of Oak Island, the clearer it becomes that this discovery is not just about gold or jewels. The real heart of the story lies in the symbols and codes that keep appearing again and again, both on the island and on the treasure that has now been revealed. These symbols are not random. They form a language of their own, a language tied to the Templars, to their hidden knowledge, and to the great secrets of faith that they are rumored to have protected. One of the most famous artifacts of Oak Island is the mysterious inscribed stone discovered in the early 1800s. This stone, pulled from deep within the money pit, was said to carry strange carvings, unlike any ordinary writing. Some believed it was a warning, others thought it was a riddle, and a few claimed it gave instructions on how to reach the treasure. Translations varied, but one interpretation suggested the words, 40 feet below, 2 million pounds are buried. Whether this was true or not remains unclear, because the stone itself disappeared decades later. Some say it was used as part of a fireplace, others think it was stolen, and some even suspect it was hidden deliberately to cover up its true meaning. Whatever the case, this stone adds to the sense that Oak Island has always been more than dirt and wood. It has been a coded message, a puzzle left for future generations to solve. When we look at the treasure recently unearthed, we see the same pattern. The Templar crosses carved into the chests are not just decoration, they are statements of identity. They say clearly, this treasure belongs to the Knights Templar. But the symbols go beyond the cross. Geometric patterns, circles, and numbers suggest that the Templars may have used sacred geometry, a system where numbers and shapes carry hidden spiritual meaning. The Templars were known to study such things, blending their faith with knowledge from other cultures they encountered during the Crusades. They built cathedrals aligned with astronomical events, and they used geometry not only for beauty, but for mystery. Could it be that the designs carved into the treasure chests are part of a larger code, one that could unlock even greater secrets hidden on Oak Island? This leads us to the most daring theories about what the Templars may have hidden here. For centuries, people have speculated that the Knights Templar were the guardians of the Holy Grail. The Grail is often described as a cup, but in truth, no one really knows what it was. Some believe it was the cup Jesus used at the Last Supper. Others think it was the chalice that caught his blood at the crucifixion. But still others suggest the Grail was not a cup at all, but secret knowledge, something so powerful that it could change the world. If the Templars carried the Grail across the sea and buried it beneath Oak Island, then this discovery could be far greater than any pile of gold. Another theory speaks of the Ark of the Covenant, the sacred chest that held the 10 Commandments given to Moses. The Ark vanished from history thousands of years ago, but rumors of its survival never disappeared. Some believe it was hidden in Ethiopia. Others think it was taken by the Templars, passed into their secret protection, and hidden somewhere safe. Could Oak Island be that place? The engineering of the tunnels and the effort to protect the treasure suggest that what was buried here was of enormous importance, perhaps even sacred. There are even whispers that the Templars carried manuscripts, documents that told a hidden truth about the life of Jesus, secrets that the Church feared would shatter its authority. While such claims remain controversial, they continue to fuel interest in the Oak Island mystery.
For if the Templars buried not only treasure but knowledge, then Oak Island could be the key to rewriting the history of Christianity itself. As these theories swirl, we cannot ignore the modern explorers who have dedicated their lives to solving the Oak Island mystery. Among them are the Lagina brothers, Rick and Marty, who arrived on the island in the early 2000s with both passion and resources. Unlike many who came before them, they had modern technology on their side: drilling equipment, ground-penetrating radar, underwater cameras, and advanced mapping systems. With these tools, they were able to explore parts of the island that had remained untouched for centuries. The Lagina's uncovered artifacts